we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. And it's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of every man. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves. This is the song of every man. And God is watching us. God is watching us. From a distance, oh, God is watching us. God is watching. God is watching us from a distance.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
It's been a tough year. We could all use a restart, a reboot, a renewal. This Easter, turn to the one who can recharge, restart, and renew. Find hope in Jesus Christ. Celebrate Him. Feel new hope through music and inspired messages. Worship with us. Worship Him. Join us for Easter General Conference.
Tune in to Power 106 FM this Saturday, April 3 between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 4 from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear the General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's onespotmedia.com. Watch your favorite local program or listen to your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at onespotmedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, facebook.com/onespotmedia, and subscribe now.
OneSpotMedia.com.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
God made you special. God made you special, for there's no other who's just like you. Special you are. God made you special. God made you so special, for there's no other who's just like you. Special you are. Oh, He took the time to breathe into your heart and mind and identity. Your kind of style sets you apart. Be yourself. It's fine. It's all God's design. God made you special. made you special, for there's no other who's just like you. Special you are. God made you special. God made you so special. For there's no other who's just like you. You're special. You're so special. Special you
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Hello, God. Are you out there? Can you hear me? Are you listening anymore? Hello, God. If we're still on speaking terms, can you help me like before? I've questioned your existence. My resistance leaves me cold. Can you help me go the distance? Hello, God. Hello, hello. This whole world has gone to pieces. Can we fix it? Is there time? Hate and violence just increases. We're so selfish, cruel and blind. We fight and kill each other in your name, defending you. Do you love some more than others? We're so lost and confused. Hello, God, are you out there? Can you hear us? Are you listening anymore? Hello, God, if we're still on speaking terms, can you help us like before? Oh, the free will you have given, we have made a mockery of. This is no way to be living. We're in great need of your love. Hello, God. We could start again. Hello, God, we learned our lesson. Dear God, don't let us go. More than ever. Hello, God. Hello, 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 God. We really need you. We can't make it without you. We beseech you in the name of all that's true. Hello, God, please forgive us, for we know not what we do. Hello, God, give us one more chance to prove ourselves to you. Hello, God. Hello, God. Hello, God.
It's the first day of the fourth month of 2021. the International Year of Health and Care Workers, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor. The month of April, March is over, and the month of April marks World Autism Awareness Month. Here in Jamaica, it's also the start of Cancer Awareness Month, Farmers Month, and Manufacturers Month. It's Captain Regent's Day in San Marino, Cyprus National Day in Cyprus, Republic Day in Iran, Youth Day in Benin, and Christians around the world continue to observe Holy Week. And in fact, today is Holy Thursday. It's the 1st of April, otherwise known as All Fools Day. Hoy es jueves, el 1 de abril 2021. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes, desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
Give us one more chance to prove ourselves to you. Hello, God. Hello, God.
C'est jeudi le 1er avril 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez, où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service. Pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de ceux parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi, sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
Are you out there? Can you hear us? Are you listening anymore? Hello, God. If we're still on speaking terms, can you help us like
All we're saying is it's Thursday, the 1st of April, 2021, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Dear God, don't let us go.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free. Listening is free whenever, wherever. We acknowledge you if you're logged on to the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to both sides of the story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. If you're in the United States and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953. 0330-606-0953. There's more after the break.
This whole world has gone to pieces. Can we fix it? Is there time? Hate and violence just increases. We're so selfish, cruel and blind. We fight and kill each other in your name, defending you. Do you love some more than others? We're so lost.
Win more money with Lucky Play Lotteries. Play Big Pot, Super 5, and Dream 6 today. The time by Lucky Play Lottery is
2:45.
The Gleaner Premium will excite your digital media experience, satisfy your appetite for exclusive stories and special access to editors' fora, videos, podcasts, and much more. To subscribe, go to jamaica-gleaner.com/premium and select the e-Gleaner or website option. Welcome to your new digital experience, the Gleaner Premium.
Free for a limited time only.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a special edition, the Holy Thursday edition of Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. We have been sharing with you all of this shortened work week this week, excerpts from the essay on man by the essay on man, the first epistle by Alexander Pope. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages long. The essay on man, the first epistle by Alexander Pope. We've been sharing with you extracts from that work. We also shared with you some selections, Precious Memories by Skeeter Davis and Jim Reeves, their respective editions. We have also given you Go Light Your World by Kathy Trockley, Footprints by Christy Lane, From a Distance by Bette Midler, God Made You Special by Denise Williams, Hello God by Dolly Parton. And now here's Handel's Messiah by the great George Frederick Handel. A lot of reflection, but also a lot of celebration and thanksgiving going into this extended Easter weekend. Good afternoon to those of you who are just tuning in. What does Easter mean to you? There's a question. What does Easter mean to you? And we know at this time, especially for members of the diaspora, this time of year can be quite nostalgic, because then we remember what we would normally do at Easter time, and we would eat the bun and fish. Well, not me, I've never done that before, but I hear it's good. Eating the bun and fish, of course, bun and cheese, and then you argue which bun is the best bun, because we have quite a few brands here in Jamaica. And there are those, as we were talking with Rascava the other day about, where they say you get the egg white and you put it in a glass and put it out in the sun and leave it there for a while, and whatever shape you see in that glass, if it's the shape of an airplane, you're going to travel. I guess if it's I mean, you're going to foreign, right? And I don't know what's the shape of a visa. If it's the shape of a visa, then you're going to get the visa, etc. It really is a wonderful time for family and those of the Christian faith, the church family. Things aren't what they used to be, as we know, on account of COVID-19, and it's a sacrificial time. It's been a sacrificial year in more ways than one. Sadly, we have lost, according to the figures we heard today on the news, 599 people to COVID-19 in Jamaica. 599. That's the figure I remember hearing. Those are people. Those were people who were with us at the start of 2020. And they're no longer with us, and their family members. Imagine, multiply that number and you get multiples of family members and friends and colleagues at home and abroad. So it really is a time for soul searching and reflection. But as we said, we have to celebrate. And we don't mean partying. That's not what we're talking about. A celebration of life, a celebration that we have gotten this far, but not just to celebrate that fact, but to give thanks as well. Whatever our belief systems, we know we live in a world, and different strokes for different folks, as they say. Whatever your position, we have a lot to be thankful for. Whatever your religious denomination, whatever your faith, or whether you're an atheist or whatever your belief system, no one can deny that we have a lot to be thankful for. In spite of all that is happening, all that is still happening. And the truth is, sadly, some of us, more of us will not go beyond a certain point. It's a story of life. It's a story of life. And therefore, this is why we must make the most of it while we have it. This thing called life. We must make the most of it while we have it and help somebody. The song says, if I can help somebody. Mahalia Jackson has a wonderful version. Mahalia Jackson, if I can help somebody. As I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Let's give a listen.
I can help somebody as I travel alone. I can help somebody in a word or a soul. I can help somebody Lord, my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
I can somebody as I travel alone. I can somebody in a word or a soul. I can somebody from dew and roll. Lord, my living shall not be in vain. No, my living shall not be in vain.
A timely reminder, especially, well, it's a timely reminder. We don't need to say especially now. It is a timely reminder. What else are we here on this earth for, if not to leave it better than we found it by virtue of our actions? What else, if not that? And yeah, let's help all those we can while we can until we can't. Because life is fleeting. Here today, gone tomorrow. So we have a lot to reflect on going into this extended weekend. And we trust for the most part, we will, well, we can't dictate how you spend your weekend, but we're just saying all of us need to do some soul searching, some reevaluating, and assessments of our respective, of our lives, how we've been living it, where we are, what time is it for us, in a manner of speaking, and there are, in business, there is a 4-letter word, RISK. That's it. That is at the heart of any business. It really is a risk. Whether one can take it a step further and say a calculated risk. But such is the nature of business. Maybe you look at the environment and you think, boy, I don't think now is a good time at all. But there are people and enterprises that have been launched within the last year, quite a number of them, and doing very well. So if that is what you see your purpose as, then so be it. Sharpen your purpose, sharpen your technique in whatever you do, whatever your talent is. Let's use this period to reflect, revise, refresh, renew, and all the other forms of rejuvenation necessary so that we would have done some work on our mindset. And that takes some time as well, because we're accustomed to a certain mindset. But it can be done, and we can transform ourselves in terms of our thinking and our actions. And now would be a good time. There's no time like the present. Please, no need to rush. We got caught in the last day before a long weekend traffic, and last day before the start of weekend number 2 of a lockdown. So it's no use getting all worked up. Just take your time, pay attention to the traffic. We know there's a tendency, because there is traffic, for us to distract ourselves by reading our text messages. And I think we shared on this program some time ago that reading text messages, or texting, we should say, texting while driving, is akin to being, and I can't remember the exact designation, but almost like being three times drunk or thrice drunk. So it's even we don't even want to go there, because then some people will say, well, at least they'll drink and drive, and then say, well, at least I'm not texting and driving. No, they're both bad, terrible, awful, and should not be done. So let's continue to be safe. Take it easy on the roads. This weekend, some of us, there are things we have always meant to do or wanted to do around the house. We can find some of those things to do around the house this weekend. We can do some light exercises within the vicinity of our, well, everybody's living space is different and yard space is different. But go outside and look up at the sun. Well, not sure, don't think it's shining right now, but the point is just develop a greater level of appreciation for nature and the environment, and we shouldn't take it for granted. All that happens. A lot of us, we are so caught up with everything else that we miss the beauty of nature and the joys that one can derive from being close to nature. So it's a good time. It's a very good time, an opportunity for all of us to reflect, to relax as well. Very important. Relaxation is good. And to find ways of further strengthening our families. It's a good weekend for some serious family talk. Family talk. Just making sure that we're tightening the family system, the family structure, the family relations and relationships. Yeah, this weekend would be a good time to tighten those nuts and bolts. Look, we all make mistakes. We all do things that we later live to regret. This weekend is a good time for atonement as well. Yeah, it's a good time. Some of us haven't spoken with our parents in a long time for whatever reason. or siblings as well, for whatever reason, now is a good time to make peace. After all, this is the International Year of Peace as well, isn't it? Yeah, this weekend would be a good time to make peace with family members, friends, colleagues. Yeah, take the high road. Right. Can we clear some messages? We've been going for a while between our selections and our thoughts and the words of Alexander Pope's The Essay on Man. Let's hear your words now. How about that? Let's go to some of your messages that have been popping up on the various platforms. Hello to Jennifer, as usual, from Q Road in Kencott, not too far from here. Good afternoon, Jennifer. Kevin Lee, Vision, says, bless up, Mr. Malcolm. Hope all is well with you and your family. We're giving thanks for life. Thank you very much. We hope it's the same with you and yours. Rose McIntosh says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, and to all listeners worldwide. And good afternoon, Rose McIntosh, who is in London. Thank you very much for tuning in. How are things in London going into this weekend, Easter weekend? How are things? Give us an update, please, Rose McIntosh. Inez Campbell-Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut, online as usual. Audrey Smith in Southampton in England, still tuned in. Sylviana Johnson, good afternoon. Sylviana Johnson says it's a rainy day in Jamaica, showers of blessing, indeed. Sophia Nemard, good afternoon to you. Melvi in San Diego, California, season's greetings to you as well. Easter greetings to you. Amari Reed says, Uncle Dervan, you have to teach me some of the Spanish. Big up yourself. Thank you very much, Amari. But you know how it is these days, Amari. Anybody can learn a language these days. Yes, we may or may not need some guidance with the pronunciation. But even with that, we have apps and websites and publications that we can use to help us with our pronunciation. So it's actually, well, I'm not going to say it's easy because it requires a level of discipline, but certainly it does make sense, especially in this globalized world. It does open additional doors of opportunity. Lady D, Diana Taylor, good afternoon to you. She says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, and all your listeners on this Holy Thursday. Loving the music. Please, not too much bun and cheese, okay? Stay safe, everyone. Well, I was looking forward to your homemade Easter bun, Lady D, Diana Taylor, in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, whatever happened to the homemade Easter bun, Diana Taylor? We were expecting that from you. What happened there? What happened there? Anyway, thank you very much for your message. All the very best to you and your family, Lady D, Diana Taylor. And let's see if, we'll catch up on Saturday afternoon around 2 o'clock Eastern time, 1 p.m. Jamaica time. Joining you and Wayne Golding, attorney at law Wayne Golding, on the Global Diaspora Show on Caribbean Affair Connection, CAC radio on WOKB 1680 AM. Yeah, looking forward to that as usual. Good afternoon to Andre Anderson. Andre Anderson says, good afternoon, Dervan. Listen to your program daily. Have a question. Are the people on path gonna get the money that would have been sent to the school? Well, I don't, let's see. It's not that the money is sent to the school. What happens at school, for example, is that, it's not necessarily cash. It's not cash. It is, there's a term for it, subvention, some kind of subvention. and it makes it allows students who are on the PATH program to collect their PATH tickets at school, and they'll take the PATH ticket to the canteen and they'll get lunch. I don't know if breakfast is included, or because they're, yeah, but that's how that works. So with schools being closed, one would hope, and we haven't read this or heard this anywhere, and we perhaps need to check, but one would hope and one would like to think that the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, which administers PATH, would be discerning and would have made certain decisions to continue supporting the PATH students. That has to be. It can't be any other way. More in a moment.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. What does Easter mean to you? We did ask the question earlier on. We haven't seen any responses just yet. What does Easter mean to you? Or perhaps you'd like to reflect on some of the Jamaican Easter traditions, perhaps. Bernard Farquharson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and radio family. I'm tuning in from Detroit, Michigan. Love your program. Very informed. I get a lot from it. Blessings. Thank you very much, Bernard Farquharson from Detroit, Michigan. Thanks a lot. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Please, and all listeners. Janet Constable, haven't heard that surname in a while, Constable. Janet Constable says, Dervan, greetings from Glengoff. I thank God so much for you and your program. You're making my day so much easier, so much easier. Peace be with you, bro, and also with you, Janet Constable. Thank you very much. Inez Campbell-Brown from Bridgeport, Connecticut, still in touch with us. Claudia Gold Hadam in the Cayman Islands, as I recall. I think she's in Cayman. Says, good afternoon, Dervan, and happy Easter to you and all everywhere. Thank you very much. Janet Otti Monteith says, Easter greetings to everyone. And to you too, Janet Otti Monteith. Happy Easter greetings to you as well, as we continue to share with you some of our selections for this special Holy Thursday edition of your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Tons of messages to Claire. Hello to Angelia Christian, Angel in London. Thank you for tuning in. All the very best. Good day to H. Morgan in Birmingham. He says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. Wishing you and your listeners a blessed afternoon. I don't celebrate Easter, don't observe it. But today, I went into a shop to get some avocados, and I saw a lot of Easter buns from HTB, National Bakery, and honey spice bun. Or you mean honey bun? Honey, what's the company? Honey bun. Isn't that it? For a moment there, I think so. But there are, well, he goes on to say, all from Jamaica. And the cheese, lots of it. The large tin for 30 pounds. Not 30 pounds. 30 shillings. That's great. At least we see a lot of Jamaican products here. And they were selling, as they say, like hot bread. I myself bought some national brown bread. Very nice indeed. Yes, such is the nature of the reach of Jamaican products and these Jamaican brands all over. Jeremy in Black River says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Roast fish and bun, very good to eat. I'm not promising anybody that I'm going to be doing that, but more power to you if you enjoy. I don't think you mean roast fish. I thought wasn't it fried fish as opposed to roasted fish? Or in Jamaica, we drop the ED when we're talking Jamaican. So we don't say roasted fish. We say roast fish. And we don't say curried goat, but curry goat, or curry chicken, or curry this, or curry that. Right. Yeah, well, you enjoy your, I love roast fish, or roast fish, as we say in Jamaica. So it's either I'm going to say roast fish or roasted fish. Right. And yeah, you enjoy your roast fish and bun, Jeremy in Black River. All the very best to you. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine is tuned in as usual. This one says, teacher, you are going old school today. I love it. In reference to the selections, Michael in Belle Plaine, Clarendon, or from Belle Plaine, Clarendon, says, good afternoon, teacher, to you and the Power 106 family. I'm here listening cricket and watching you live. Keep up your good work, teacher, and keep safe. I wish you and your family well for the holiday. Thank you very much, Michael from Belle Plaine. And let's see who else is messaging us. Franklin McDonald in Canada says April 1st is the anniversary of the passing of, in 1950, of Dr. Charles Drew, who developed much of the technology surrounding blood transfusions. Ironically, says Franklin McDonald, he has been a what? He has been a debate ever since his death in 1950, or there has been a debate ever since his death in 1950 over whether the denial of a blood transfusion contributed to his early passing. Stay safe. Thank you very much, Franklin McDonald in Canada. All the very best to you, and thanks for keeping in touch, and thanks for that nugget you just shared with us. And thanks to Dr. Trevor Dixon for reminding us where we were was it a year ago, Dr. Dixon? Was it around this time? Standing in the middle of some street in New York. This was New York, right? Yes, this was in New York. Thanks for sharing the picture, Dr. Trevor Dixon, that reminder. And who knows when we will ever be back. Let's see. Let's see what happens going forward. But thank you for that reminder, Dr. Dixon. All the very best to you and your family for this extended Easter weekend. Bishop Douglas Gooden, hope you're well. Hello to you. All the best. Reverend Stephen Smith, how are you, Rev Smith? Hope you're well. All the best to you. Tony Kelly has shared a video with us. Let's see what Tony Kelly is saying here. Hope you're all well. Had this twice today. The problem I have with it is, all right, well, I guess we'll have to off-air Tony Kelly, see what this is about. We'll check that out. Pearl Brown says, Sir D, oh, beautiful music. You lifted my spirit. Thank you so much. The Almighty is with us. Blessings. Sir D, I hope you're watching. Oh, this was later in the night. She was saying, I hope you're watching All Angles. Be safe. God bless you. No, that was last night, right? Well, it would have been recorded on our digital video recorder. We'll watch it when we can. And all the best to Dion Jackson Miller and Dr. Orville Taylor and all the others who are convalescing, recovering from COVID-19. All the very best, and our colleague Michael Sharp as well. We wish him well. We wish him well. And Mr. Malcolm, how about the vaccine in the world? How about the vaccine in the world is getting better worldwide? All right. Well, that's the hope. Delva in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth says, good evening, good afternoon, Delva. Mr. Dervan, have a happy Easter. Same to you, Delva. Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence says to Brother Dervan, your side of the story from Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence. Suggestion, in order to prevent crowding at the public markets, supermarkets, and shopping areas in general on weekends, that workers be paid on weekdays instead of the present focus on Friday. Oh, well, the timing of payment, well, there's something to be said about that, yes. This works well in other countries. Blessings for the Easter season. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence. All the very best to you. And Errol in Spanish Town. Some of these messages are from yesterday. Sorry we missed them. Hi, Dervan. Good day. Have you been following the George Floyd murder trial? This has to be one of the cruelest things a human can do to another human. No wonder the Bible says the heart of men is desperately wicked. Each time I see that video, I get choked up, and I think, and to think he might very well get away with it because of the bias towards the police and chronic racism in America. Dervan, not only bad men wear Clarks. What rubbish. I wear Clarks because they are strong and last much longer. Thank you, Errol in Spanish Town. That's in reference to one of the conversations we had yesterday. G-Mac says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Can you please say which shoes is good man shoes since there's a bad man shoes? Your response was spot on to that lady. Thank you, G-Mac. Another message, Mr. Dervan, good afternoon. My question, why is it that when the police are looking for persons of interest or announce a charge against an individual, they do not show a mugshot of the person? Maybe because they don't have it. Please, can you clarify? Thanks. One would like to think, well, it's a couple of things. On the one hand, it could be that the person is just that, a person of interest, a person who may or may not have information that could assist in an investigation. So you wouldn't need to put out a mugshot of that person. And to get a mugshot, you would have to first, you would have had to take someone into custody, well, arrest and charge the person, and then take the mugshot. Anyway, but they don't have the picture. If they don't circulate the picture of someone who they would regard as being wanted, and that they have overwhelming evidence that this person is a wanted individual.
Be in vain. No more living shall not.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30.
You're not alone in feeling disconnected from family, friends, community, maybe even from God. This Easter, you can reconnect with people around the world and virtually gather to worship Jesus Christ, the one certain source of hope. Hear inspired messages and music that inspires feelings of hope and renewal. Join in celebrating the living Christ and praise Him for the peace and light He offers all.
Tune in to Power 106 FM this Saturday, April 3 between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 4 from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear the General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The following is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise the public that persons 75 years and older who wish to be vaccinated must make an appointment before visiting a vaccination site. Appointments can be made by visiting www.moh.gov.jm or call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. You may ask a friend, relative, or a healthcare provider to assist you with booking an appointment. Persons are asked to take a government-issued ID or a letter from a Justice of the Peace to the vaccination center. Additionally, vaccination will continue for other priority groups. The Ministry of Health and Wellness thanks the public for their cooperation. The proceeding was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The e-Gleaner meets your needs for fast and easy comprehensive coverage as we keep you in the know even while on the go. Click, download, and take your stories with you. Create collections and read later. Current affairs and past issues anywhere and anytime with the e-Gleaner. Share in the e-Gleaner experience when you sign up for Gleaner Premium. Learn more at jamaica-gleaner.com/premium.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Hear me, Father. Hear me, hear me, Father. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. You have called me by my name. I've been born again into your family. Your blood runs through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. You hear me? I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Oh, 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 oh. You split the sea so I can walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I can stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I can walk right through it. My fears are drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I can stand and sing. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Yes, I am a child of God. Come on, people of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Yeah. I am a child of God. Yeah. I am a child of God. Yes, I am. I am a child of God. Lord, I am a child of God. Yeah. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. Yes, I know who I am. I am a child of God. Yes, I know who I am. Yes.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Kelvin Lee Vision says, anyone have any idea why the tradition has always been bun and cheese? Most people in Jamaica eat bun all year round. Why not eat cornmeal or sweet potato pudding during the holiday? That's the position being put forward by Kelvin Lee. Thank you very much. Let's hear how others respond to your thoughts. Kelvin Lee, thank you very much. Let's see. Well, if you're asking, you're asking about the bun and cheese tradition. Why the tradition has always been bun and cheese. Well, we're told that it comes from the idea of the hot cross bun from Britain. The Jamaican Easter bun comes from the hot cross bun from Britain. These buns were traditionally eaten on Good Friday. Yeah, these buns were traditionally eaten on Good Friday with the cross, because remember they were called hot cross buns. Hot cross buns. So there's a cross on the buns themselves, and that cross symbolizing the crucifixion of Jesus. The tradition made its way to Jamaica when the English colonized Jamaica starting on the 10th of May 1655. Now, over time, the bun transitioned from being the roundish shape into a loaf. So it used to be round. It used to be that these hot cross buns were round or roundish, but over time the bun transitioned from that roundish shape into a loaf, and molasses was substituted for honey, and dried fruits were added to the batter. You know, the batter, as children we love to when our parents would have emptied the container, the bowl that would have been bearing the batter. Some of us as children would lick the batter or otherwise extract the batter from the bowl or dish or whatever container it was in to eat it. Yeah. So over time, the bun transitioned from the roundish shape into a loaf, and then molasses was substituted for honey, and dried fruits were added to the batter to make it uniquely ours, Jamaican, and no doubt much yummier. And we're not pushing any particular brand. Good afternoon. No one is sure how cheese was added to the mix, but we're not going to question the matter because the combination just works. So that's courtesy of digjamaica.com. That's a site that is managed by the Gleaner. Thank you very much. Let's see who else is on board as the program rolls on. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Janet Otti says, that's Janet Otti Monteith, says, Easter greetings to everyone. To you too, Janet Otti Monteith. Grace Walters says, have a happy, blessed, and holy Easter. Many happy returns, Grace Walters. Angela in Toronto, Canada says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. Have a safe and happy Easter. Thank you very much, Angela in Toronto, Canada. And let's take this call coming in from New York. By their area code, you shall know them, in a manner of speaking. Mr. Rainbow, man with the rainbow, for his display pic. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Dervan. Yes, sir. How are you?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Doing great, man. Happy Easter season to you and all those in your range, within your region, in your audience.
Thank you. Same to you and yours.
Yes, from back then in the days, I used to, there's some things that we used to do during this time of the year, like, especially on the Good Friday. Did I say Good Friday? Yes, we used to there's a tree, we call it visit a tree, that we'd cut that tree on the day, and at midday, and it would, you'll see some red stuff coming out of it, some red liquid coming out of that tree, and some weed.
Hold on. Tell us some more after the break, and when we just make an adjustment to your connection as well in terms of how close the instrument is to your mouth. You might want to back off a little because it's coming across as being just a little distorted. Hold the line, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. The e-Gleaner meets your needs for fast and easy comprehensive coverage as we keep you in the know even while on the go. Click, download, and take your stories with you. Create collections and read later. Current affairs and party issues anywhere and anytime with the e-Gleaner. Share in the e-Gleaner experience when you sign up for Gleaner Premium. Learn more at jamaica-gleaner.com/premium.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Better now.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying, during this time of the year, we would cut that tree, they call it visit that tree, and we would see that red substance.
What's the name of the tree? What's the name of the
Visit nut.
Visit nut?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard they call it over at this time. And there's some weed. When you pull those weeds up, then you would see those some like charcoals coming from under there. But that would only happen at that time, at this time of the year. I mean that day after midday tomorrow. After midday and Friday and Good Friday. If you do it after or before, then you don't see any of those. But I don't know exactly what it signifies.
Oh.
So we used to we used to do that. But yeah, the bun and cheese now. Actually, I just went and picked up the cheese. I had the bun, I had the fish. But about 15 years ago, my friend from Clarendon introduced me to the fish and bun. I never knew about it before. So I guess you really have to be from Clarendon to know about that stuff. It's only Clarendon people I heard talk about the fish and bun. So I was introduced to it about 15 years ago, and I tried it and it works. I think it can go on. I enjoy it, and yes, and the season again, it's a great time when you reflect, the main reason for this season is it's about the death of Christ. Knowing that he was crucified in this time of the year, the season. We are in the season right now, so it's a great time to reflect, on his death and his resurrection. Not only his death, but his resurrection. So we spend the time going to church. Tomorrow we go to church and we come back home and eat some of those bun and fish and cheese and all of that. But there's one more thing I want to say to you, Mr. Dervan. From when I was a little boy growing up, I used to hear they talk about Duppy. And last time when I came home around in the 11 o'clock, I was there. I always like to go on social media to check out some stuff, see what's going on. And for the first time in my life, you say they're talking about Duppy. People used to, telling Duppy story and all of those stuff. But last time was the first time I've seen one really. And
you saw a Duppy last night?
Yes, but it was not like in the dark or out in the wilds or whatever. But it was on social media. When I turned on the YouTube thing, I saw somebody was highlighting that guy that killed that young lady, Miss Jackson. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, I don't know how that young lady would have any kind of association with that kind of stuff I saw on the thing, man. I'm still at a loss. Yeah, that's a Duppy, man. Yeah. First time when I was in Jamaica, they used to have some rapid people who used to go around so they could catch Duppy. I wonder how they missed this one. How they didn't catch him before. And that guy, man, I'm telling you, man, right now I'm lost for word, really. How would that young lady have any kind of association with this guy? I mean, not really guy, but this Duppy. I don't even can use the word ghost because ghost gonna sound too you gonna modify that term. Yeah, that's a Duppy, man.
Yeah, we get the point you're making. You've said it about 10 times already. Is that it?
Yes, well, that's that. Yeah, that's it. Really, really for now. Really, yeah. Yeah, that's it for now.
All right, thanks for the call. All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Let's clear some more of the messages on the various platforms right now. Thank you very much for tuning in here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's clear some more WhatsApp and text messages. Let's see. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois says, Happy Easter. There is my round bun. And she has sent us pictures of her buns. Thank you very much. They look quite delectable. Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois. Very nice. Well done, Dr. Dunn. Diana says, Good afternoon, Dervan. Peaceful Easter to you and your listeners. Do you know how Miss Olive is feeling? Well, we haven't heard from her in a few days, and we trust that she has in fact been resting and recuperating and recovering and convalescing. And if you're hearing us, Miss Olive, you don't need to work up yourself too much. You can send us a text message. Diana wants to know how you're feeling. All the best, Miss Olive. Another message. Good day, Dervan. How can the Prime Minister be complaining about the impact of the gangster music? Once again, it's not the music, it's the lyrics, the lyrical content, the impact of gangster lyrics culture on Jamaica's crime situation. Yet we have a man who has been convicted and imprisoned for murder being able to produce music openly and with the same regularity as when he was free. Is there not enough hypocrisy there to doom an entire nation? Well, that's a matter that was brought to our attention some years ago, about people recording from behind bars when they should be doing otherwise. We did deal with that from way back then, and we have told the story before on this program about going to New York around the time when that debate was hot. And everywhere I went in New York, that's what people were accosting me about. What is this we're hearing? How people must be a prisoner and still do song, and them have song out there and whatever. We were subsequently told that the Correctional Services Department would have taken action in that regard. We're not sure of the nature and extent of that action that has been taken. We have heard little or nothing since those periodic outbursts over time about this individual doing recordings from behind bars. Thank you for your message. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary says, Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Holy Thursday to you and your listeners. The program this evening is very inspiring. Enjoying it. Clarky Bless, Hunstown, St. Mary. Thank you very much, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, for your message. Did we miss this one? Who is this? Shout out to you, Mr. Dervan, and to all my Jamaican people. I'm here enjoying your program as always. Vision of New York. Thank you very much, Vision of New York, for your message here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, although we're coming up to a break now and we we will need to conduct an interview in this segment coming up and the segment thereafter. Stay with us, please, right here on your program, Both Sides of the Story.
You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Hey, you see, these days, it's good to get straight to the point. Quick and easy. That's why Western Union gives you another way to receive money straight to your bank account with Western Union's direct-to-bank money transfer. Visit a Western Union agent location and sign up now and tell your family and friends to send your next Western Union money transfer directly to your bank account in Jamaica. It's easy. Visit a Western Union location or call our call center at 876-926-2454. Sign up today to receive a money transfer directly to your bank account with ease. With Western Union, moving money for better.
It's been a tough year. We could all use a restart, a reboot, a renewal. This Easter, turn to the one who can recharge, restart, and renew. Find hope in Jesus Christ. Celebrate Him. Feel new hope through music and inspired messages. Worship with us. Worship Him. Join us for Easter General Conference.
Tune in to Power 106 FM this Saturday, April 3 between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 4 from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear the General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big name, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Can't even walk, no, without you holding my hand. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide, down on my knees. Oh, yes, Lord. I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I thank God I've made Jesus my all in all. From now on His name, I'm surely gonna call. And if I don't trust Him, I'd be less than a woman, 'cause I can't even walk without Him holding
my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Can't even walk. I can't even without you holding my hand. Oh, Jesus. The mountain is too high, it's too high, and the valley is too wide, it's too wide. Down on my knees, down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk, can't even without you holding my hand. So hold my hand. Can't even walk, no, without you holding my hand. Can't even walk. The mountain is too high, is too high. The valley is too high. Down on my knees, oh yeah, I've learned to stay. I'm gonna stay. Can't even walk, can't even walk without you holding my hand. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can't even walk, no, no, without you holding my hand. No. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I'm gonna stay. I've learned to stay. Can't even walk, can't even walk. No, 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 without you holding my hand.
Que ora es en espagnol. Son las 4:06. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:06. Cienzai. Tidien le. Si dien ling liao fen. 6 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on this special Holy Thursday edition of Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And joining us now is Professor Opal Palmer Adisa, University Director, Institute for Gender and Development Studies at the UWI. So Director, Institute for Gender and Development Studies at the UWI. Professor Palmer Adisa, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon to you. I am very well, thank you. And I'm just wishing you and your listeners the same.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Many, we're receiving on behalf of the listeners. Can you remind those of us who know and enlighten those who don't about the purpose of the Institute for Gender and Development Studies at UWI, please?
Absolutely. We are embarking on our 29th year, I think, yes. And the purpose was to really look at gender equity and gender justice in the larger society. And a lot of people, when they hear gender, they think it's just about women. It's not. Of course, the Institute came out of a period when the inequities between women were much more stark than they are now. And so the Institute was developed to bring about equity between men and women in the region, and specifically our unit in Jamaica. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we gather that you are embarking or have been embarking on a project supported by the United Nations.
Yes.
The timing is impeccable, considering once again we have had another wave, so to speak, of outrage and condemnation of the treatment of our women and girls. Can you give us some insights into this initiative?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. So this is a project, a large project that really spans the Caribbean and beyond. But for the EU and the UN Spotlight Initiative project, and the project is specific to family violence and violence against women and girls and child sexual abuse. And my unit, my institute we've been awarded a grant to specifically look at the legislative reform. So that's under the EU UN Spotlight Pillar 1. And we're looking to propose reforms for the sexual harassment bill, which we have already reviewed and made our comments and submission to Parliament. And now we're looking at the Sexual Offense Act. We're going to be looking at the Domestic Violence Act, the Offense Against People, Against the Persons Act, and the Child Care and the Protection Act. So we are reviewing those 5, 1 bill and 4 acts, so that the law is updated and that all who need protection are protected under the law.
Yes. And so that you are employing your own lawyers to take a look at these pieces of legislation. Is that it?
So we are working in collaboration with the UNDP, and they have a lawyer. So we go over the sexual harassment bill. And many people who are not lawyers, one of the good best practice process is that the government did call for all persons, anybody, to really review the Sexual Harassment Act and to make a presentation or submit a document. So we did that long ago, and then in this process, we're working with lawyers from the UNDP who have that technical knowledge and expertise, which my team of researchers don't have that legal aspect. But we're looking at some of the things that are glaring, certainly in terms of the Sexual Harassment Act, in terms of expanding what we mean by workspace because of the domestic workers, looking at the time frame in terms of how long one can report. So there are various components of the sexual harassment bill and the various other acts that we're looking at in conjunction with a lawyer to make sure that we are submitting in not only a fashion that is indicative of what's happening now, but it's within the legal framework.
Oh, is there a way in which you are including in your work the people in communities, those who work in communities?
Absolutely. So one of our mandates and one of our deliverables is that we are going to be conducting a survey first and then elite interviews with CSOs, so community organizations. Yes, right. And then at the very end, we're going to be doing a training because we know that the problem in Jamaica is long-standing. And in order for us to rectify, ameliorate, help, then we also have to have a long-standing approach. So one of our deliverables and one of our goals will be to train members from the community service organizations who will then continue to educate and promote the elimination of gender-based violence by just speaking with various members of the community, educating them about all of the physical, social, emotional, developmental harm, why it is that we need as a society to protect our women and children, why we need to eliminate violence. You know,
yes,
we have descended into a very hard place, and it really impacts our development going forward unless we really make some serious alignment.
Yeah. And what is the timeline that you're working with? By which point you should arrive at a place where some practical steps, actions can be taken?
Right. So this grant, we were awarded the grant at the end of December, and we will be working. This is a short time span because we're doing primarily the legislative aspect of it, And then there will be other pillars, pillars 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, all of which have some practical implementation. So our aspect of the grant ends in June, but as I've said, we are going to be doing massive training with members of both urban as well as rural. We've started to do that outreach. Community service organizations so that we can train people, provide them with a manual, and they can be trained the trainers, so to speak, so that this work will continue to happen.
And how does this work fit within the global context? Are we the odd ones out, so to speak, in terms of what's happening here? No?
No, unfortunately, we are not the odd ones out. This program is happening throughout the Caribbean, in Haiti, in Trinidad, in the Bahamas. It's happening in other parts of the world.
Sorry, can you tell us some more right after this break, please? One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
You're not alone in feeling disconnected from family, friends, community, maybe even from God. This Easter, you can reconnect with people around the world and virtually gather to worship Jesus Christ, the one certain source of hope. Hear inspired messages and music that inspires feelings of hope and renewal. Join in celebrating the living Christ and praise Him for the peace and light He offers all.
Tune in to Power 106 FM this Saturday, April 3 between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 4 from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 3 to 5 p.m. to hear the General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16.现在 TDN 了4点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? All right, young people. We know. It's a holiday weekend, and so you get a break, perhaps, from learning in the strictest sense in terms of your schooling. But please be safe, young people. You be safe. We want you to be able to resume your learning experience, however challenged it is, in a refreshed and indeed in a healthy way. Right? And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Enjoy the Easter break, young people. In the meantime, let's continue our conversation on this very topical issue of, well, it's violence. The overarching issue is violence. That's the overarching issue. But there are different forms, different types: the family violence, violence against women and girls, child sexual abuse, etc. And the Institute for Gender and Development Studies Regional Coordinating Office has received a grant from the United Nations as part of the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative project. And they are looking to make recommendations to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, which is responsible for the amendments of laws related to violence against women and girls, family violence, etc. And so we are delighted, the circumstances notwithstanding, the topic itself notwithstanding, to have Professor Opal Palmer Adisa joining us. She heads the Institute for Gender and Development Studies at the University of the West Indies. And you were saying, going to the break after I put the question to you with respect to whether we were alone in this regard, you were, well, sadly telling us that no, we weren't.
No, we're not, Dervan. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, the data from the global society says that, 3 out of 5 women between the ages of 15 to 25 experience some form of gender-based violence and sexual violation. But what is important for us as a society to understand is Jamaica is one of the signatures to the Sustainable Development Goal Agenda for 2030. And part of the Sustainable Development Goals are number 3, good health and well-being, goal number 5, gender equality, and goal number 16, inclusive and peaceful societies. So you can see that we are in a race to adhere to and to say that we have in fact accomplished these goals by 2030. And 2030 is not that far away, and Jamaica is very far away from those goals because we have the second highest murder rate and gender violence rate. I mean, for a small society that is full of creative, productive people, we also have, unfortunately, a large number of people who are the converse of that and are creating havoc in our society and has made it a very unhealthy and unsafe and unvulnerable place for women and children. And this grant, the Spotlight Initiative grant, is specifically targeted because of the data to look at women. And so we want to speak to we're speaking to the engagement of civil society organizations to look at policies and programs and incorporate them to address the violence against women and girls. The project aims to recommend to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, and we've made one presentation thus far, for the amendments of laws related to violence against women, girls, family violence, and to advocate for the removal of discrimination and provisions of inappropriate protection in those. So, Dervan, one of the things we have to be mindful of is that many of these laws were written many, many years ago, some of them under colonial rule, and therefore, at those times, they did not necessarily speak to the protection, the laws against women and children, the laws against people of color, Black people, were very different under that rule. So it's important that we look at legislative reform that are in accordance or in alignment with many of the sustainable development goals that the Jamaican government and the Jamaican society has signed on to.
And so at the end of the day, in summary, what would say to you and your team, yes, we have achieved our objectives?
Well, the first part is easy. We will have reviewed all of the bills and the acts, and we will have made a submission to Parliament. So that's the easy part. The more challenging part is the practical implementation. While we hope to train over 100 members of the CSO community, what will be for me very meaningful and for my team is to see a tremendous decrease in gender-based violence. To see that we are promoting and educating the community, to see that very positive and progressive men, when they hear their men friends say something negative or that could be potentially harmful against women and children, that they nip it in the bud. In other words, they check them. So these are signs for us, but certainly the reduction of gender-based violence is really the only clear measuring that what we're doing is successful and that we're working on the right path.
Is there a way in which members of the general public can follow your work? Have you created a page or on a website or social media?
Absolutely. We are on Facebook, the Institute for Gender and Development Studies. We are on Instagram, and we've been getting things in the newspaper, and we plan to do more. And we also plan to do more on the radio because we want to reach people. We want to hear from them. We want them to hear our message and why we're doing it and how all of us, because this is not just something scholars and researchers can do. This involves the entire society, the entire community. So we need everyone in Jamaica to get on board. This is a problem that can only be solved if